Plaintiff Amanda Koski is suing her ex-fiancé for unpaid rent and utility bills. Amanda claims the defendant swore he would never cheat, but then went to a concert with another woman the day they brought their newborn daughter home from the hospital.
Cue the defendant.
Defendant Jesse Douglas admits he went out with another woman, but he claims Amanda gave him permission. Jesse says Amanda ultimately broke off their engagement and gave Jesse the ring back.
All right. The plaintiff is suing her ex-fiancé for unpaid rent and a utility bill. State your case.
Your Honor, I am suing my ex-fiancé for unpaid rent and utilities. At 14, I put myself in a bad situation and was raped by a friend of friends, and I kept my son. So in 2004, when he was 2, Jesse and I met. He was really helpful, very considerate, watched my son while I worked. I don't think many other guys his age would have done that. You know, I just never thought we'd be here today, and it turns out he's just like every other guy.
And in what way?
Well, we were engaged in 2006. He went out a lot, and I wasn't old enough to yet, so I let him. I loved him. I trusted him. He always swore to me that he would never cheat on me because he said he was cheated on in the past and knew exactly how it felt like. So he said he would never do that to me.
How old were you at the time the two of you were dating?
We started dating when I was 17.
And how old were you?
I was 20.
You were 20. Okay. So you're 17, you have a 2-year-old.
Yep.
All right,
17 with a 2-year-old.
Yeah, go ahead.
So in September of 2007, we had a daughter.
Oh, you had a child?
Yes.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
The night we brought her home from the hospital, he was very overwhelmed. So when he got a phone call asking if he could go to a concert that night with another girl, I told him he could.
The night you came home with the baby, he
Yeah.
goes to a concert with another woman?
Yeah,
And
he
you
did.
gave him permission?
I told him he could, yes.
What
I
are you
didn't know that
thinking?
he would.
It was
Why are
someone
you
we
going to a
both
concert
knew.
with another woman?
I only asked. I didn't expect to be able to go.
Oh, so because she gave you permission, who is this other woman?
And it wasn't the same night either. It was about a week later.
Why wouldn't you say to her, you know, Amanda just had a baby, let me stay home, the baby never sleeps, the baby's up all night, let me give Amanda a break. She just went through childbirth. Were you there when she delivered?
Yes.
So you needed a break, so you go out with a girl to a concert.
I didn't say I needed a break. I just asked if I could go, and she said fine.
Why would you want to go?
I don't know why.
Is this the person?
No.
Oh. Okay, go ahead. So he goes to the concert.
So in 2008, I turned 21, and I would go out here and there, but every time I left the house, I just felt really guilty for making him watch the kids. He was just very jealous. Also about this time, I noticed a dating website on our computer, and he had a profile on there that said he was a single father, had 2 cats, whatever. And so when I confronted him, he said he was just bored one night while I was at work.
I had been drinking, so I wasn't
So
exactly
you're
making
online
the
looking for someone?
best decisions. I was online. I wasn't particularly looking for anyone, but I had
So
been
why'd
drinking.
you say you were single?
Couldn't really say.
I could say it. You said you were
It didn't really
single
say
because you
I
were
was
looking
single.
for a
It
woman.
just didn't give a relationship status at all.
So she's lying.
I would say that, yes, she's lying.
I don't get the sense she's a liar. I really don't.
You haven't known her as long as I have.
No, that's true. I haven't.
So
What
that
was your
kind of,
relationship like? I mean,
he was my whole world. And so yeah, we had good times. We did.
you're almost in tears.
So at that time, I just decided that I needed some space. You know, I've been a mom since I was 15, very dependent on Jesse and just didn't want to be anymore. And that just put things up in an uproar and was pretty much the end of our relationship, the start of it anyways. On April 6th, he had a little get-together with a couple of friends at our house while I was at work. And he invited, like I said, a few friends, one of which I later found out that they were holding hands and kissing on our couch at our house. I checked our cell phone records, and I got her number, and I called her.
Is this her?
This is her. And she did admit to me that they were dating and being intimate while we were still also.
Jesse, what do you have to say for yourself? Not that she gave you permission, that I know.
I make mistakes just like everyone
Oh,
else
come
does.
on. You know what? You make mistakes. You didn't think about it. You decided that you wanted to move on from the relationship.
Yes, I did. I wanted to move on. We were no longer engaged. I
Why
moved
weren't
on
you engaged?
at the end of April, or beginning of April, end of March. Once she started, she wanted to go out more often. I was okay with it. And then she decided she no longer wanted to be engaged. She said she was cheapening the ring by wearing it.
No, I did say, we were fighting one night, and I said, you know, I feel a little silly wearing this ring right now, because if we could go to the courthouse tomorrow and get married, I wouldn't marry you because we were having such an issue. And so he took the ring back.
Why did it get to that point? How did it reach the boiling point?
He had started sleeping with his cell phone and taking it in the shower with him, and it was just a lot of, we didn't know what was going on. We just needed to work things out. I thought we were working things out, but he thought we were moving on.
So he's sleeping with his cell phone, and your instincts are telling you there's something. What is your name, miss?
Amber?
Amber, stand up. You became involved with Jesse while they were still together?
From what I got from him and his friends, they weren't together anymore. From what I heard in the same, like he's told me several times that once the ring comes off, that's done, it's it, that there's no more to it.
And how long after you take the ring off and did she surface, Amber?
She had already surfaced. In the beginning, he had told me that she was a lesbian. And then he's like, no, I was talking about the other girl from work. Whatever, I don't know. It was a whole, it's kind of a blur. A lot of stuff has happened since then.
So he told you she was a lesbian. I want you to smarten up. He told you she was a lesbian so you wouldn't be jealous.
Right. And
all right,
at
that
point,
should have been a trigger right off the bat.
And it was.
Actually,
You were?
I'm not a lesbian. But
Oh, actually what?
I don't really care what people say. I'm bi, so what? It's not a big deal.
People say you're bi?
People don't say it, I am.
Why are we going there?
Well, that she brought it up, I mean.
Okay. What are you suing for?
Right after I knew that we were both sleeping with him, I told him to move out of the apartment. That was April. Our lease wasn't up until the end of June, so we had to cover May and June's rent still. May 1st, 2009, I moved out and signed a new lease. We agreed that I would cover May's rent and he would cover June's, but then when June came around...
Did you pay June?
No, I couldn't afford it.
She's on her own with 2 kids.
And she makes about 3 times more than I do.
Really? Did you tell her you were going to pay it?
I told her I would pay it if I could.
Okay. All right. What's the utility bill?
So he didn't pay it. So, like I said, I moved again. My brother moved in with me to watch the kids at night. Well, at the next place I moved out of, my brother unexpectedly passed away there while watching my kids.
Oh, I'm sorry.
So I moved from there again because it was just too hard. And then at the next place, I had to put the utility bill back into my name. And when I called to do so, they told me I'd get an automatic disconnect notice because Jesse and I had a past due balance of $1,282, which, because I was the one reconnecting service, it would go fully into my name.
Your bill. Right. Right.
So when I asked
You working, Jesse?
Yes.
What are you doing?
I am a sales clerk at Walmart.
And what do you do, Amanda?
I'm a caregiver.
Does he pay you child support for the child you have together?
Not at this time. We haven't done anything with it yet.
He's got to pay child support.
Right.
He works at Walmart. Let him pay child support. All right. Why shouldn't you pay her?
I feel that I shouldn't pay her because I had bills that I was also left with that I have since taken care of, such as...
Like what, Jesse?
Multiple months worth of a car loan that I paid back to get current, and I still have the car.
You driving the car?
Yes, I drive the car.
Oh, good.
And
Pay
I had
for
to
it
go
then.
find my own car.
Yeah, I got it.
And then I have an AT&T bill that I have to take care of still.
Which was fully in his name.
Fully in my name, but we both used still.
But you
And
left her
did-
for Amber, so she's not using the phone anymore.
It wasn't the phone, it was the
It was
cable
the
and the
TV.
internet from when we lived together.
And he took the TV.
But then she left in June.
We both left at the same time.
Okay, what else?
And that is, well, besides the $1,200 bed that I let her keep that I had bought myself.
Why'd you let her keep it?
She asked for it. I said,
And you let her
okay.
keep it?
I said, okay.
That's
you can
very
keep it."
nice.
he
Enough
left
said.
it at the apartment. I
Enough
cleaned.
said.
He's kind.
The issue for the court is whether or not the defendant is liable to the plaintiff for breach of contract. The contract is an agreement between the two of them that she would pay for May's rent, he would pay for June's rent if he could. You know, it's undisputed that they had an agreement. She was going to pay for May, he was going to pay for June. Then what happens is she gets a utility bill, and it's moved over to her new place of $1,200. And she says, by the way, to your credit, she only wants him to pay for half. So the rent for June is $585. The utility is $641. She is entitled to both. You agree to pay for them. You are obligated on the utility. Now, you've got one child. What I would recommend to you is that you fulfill your obligations as a parent, start paying child support. You are working. In the meantime, I've made you whole from your relationship with him, at least as it relates to the rent and the utilities. You're a bright woman, okay? You're beautiful. Move on. Verdict for the plaintiff.
We are engaged to get married.
Congratulations.